All right, so let's talk about the people. The general elections that were held in 1920. Okay, there was this act that was based on the recommendation of Montague Chelmsford. Okay, you don't need to get into the specifics about who these people were or what exactly were the recommendations, but based on this act, okay, the parliament that we have currently today, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, okay, so that is usually called as bicameral parliament, bicameral legislature, meaning it has two houses, lower house and upper house. Lower house we currently know as Lok Sabha, upper house we currently know as Rajya Sabha. In those days it was a legislative assembly and the council of states. Okay, how exactly were people admitted into these institutions? Initially it was through indirect elections and nominations, as in the people in the company, people in the viceroy's executive council, they will nominate people to sit in those legislative seats. Okay, now there are no prizes for guessing who exactly would the British nominate to these seats. Obviously their own puppets, because they wanted to pass laws that will make it easier for them to exploit us. Okay, so gradually with time, okay, so in the general election of 1920, the total number of voters who voted were exactly, let me look it up, yes, 182,000, that is 1,82,000. Okay, just 1 lakh voters, almost 2 lakh, let's say almost 2 lakh voters voted in the general election of 1920. Okay, the same process was repeated again in 1934. Okay, the total number of voters in that particular election were 6 lakh. Okay, in the 1934 general election, the total number of people who voted in that elections were 6 lakh. Okay, so clearly the people who claimed to have the mandate of the people did not actually have the mandate of the people, because the voting rights were limited. Okay, the people who could vote in those elections, okay, there were very stringent conditions for you to qualify as somebody who has the right to vote. Number one was property, of course. You must have a certain amount of property with you to become eligible to vote in those elections. And obviously during those times, our country was in the status of abject poverty, again for which we have the British to blame, but that is again discussion for some other video. But yes, the point that I'm trying to make over here is the people who framed the initial draft of the constitution did not have the mandate of the people.